What you might hear on the Dad Podcast can be considered offensive. We have explicit content. You have been warned. Proceed with caution.
Titties!
You're listening to the Dad Podcast.
Let's get started.
Fuck those little kids.
And really, you kind of just got to wiggle it around and twist it around and just fuck.
Eventually, it's just gonna happen.
Today, that with the proper application of force, anything's possible.
Yeah.
We took a sledgehammer to a lock on the back of a truck.
Oh, I heard you guys talking about that.
I thought you might have heard me just banging away out there.
I might have, but usually I hear a lot of noise coming from that side of the building, and I just ignore it.
It sounded like I was building a railroad track for sure. I was hanging onto that door like a monkey, and I was just freaking whacking.
Did you lose the key or something?
No, it was one of those round locks, like not like a regular padlock. It was
Yeah.
like the super safe ones, right?
You can't even really get a Dremel or some shit into it.
It would have been a cutting wheel, but I didn't want to drag the thing all the way out there. I went and bought bolt cutters.
Oh.
And they didn't fit. And so we just kind of whacked away at it. That was the end of my story. It's okay.
Well, no, I was going to say that I think Tyler borrowed your bolt cutters a long time ago. I think they're in our back warehouse.
You son of a bitch.
Because I remember seeing some. Are they red?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think Tyler came and borrowed those a long time ago. I noticed the other day when I was in there, I was like, where did these come from? These aren't ours. We have orange Home Depot ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where the hell these red ones come from?
Bro, I've been searching through the 5 tool rooms in this building for those fuckers. I went down to Home Depot and waited 20 minutes for a fucker to
we
give
don't
me some.
have any. Yeah. I remember him going to get them. I mean, it was probably 6 months ago.
Wow. Yeah, that's about when they were I remember seeing them once. I used them once. I was like, finally, we got new ones. Because the ones we have in there are huge, and the teeth are just worn through from years of abuse, right? They don't cut anything anymore. So now I was like, we had those new ones. I've used them once.
This is what happens when Tyler borrows things.
We have a tool fairy. So he's the third tool fairy that exists.
He is definitely one. He borrowed a piece for the air pump from Pat. Pat told him to bring it back, and like 3 hours later, Pat's like, where is it? And Tyler's like, I gave it to Donnie. I'm like, the fuck you did? I didn't touch anything. What are you talking about? He left it in our back warehouse. And
bro, when you're 30 years old, he's still a teenager.
Yeah.
Like he just fucking he's done with it. He just sets it down where he's done,
Yeah,
and then
and
he walks away.
Just leaves it there.
And then he
doesn't do
forgets.
anything.
Like, what the hell?
He definitely does not have the memory.
It's crazy how your younger kids are usually the ones that are more responsible, right?
Well, that's what I tell everybody here. Carter is probably, not. Are you still the youngest? The youngest one here, but acts the most adult out of everybody.
Oh, yeah. I have to remind myself that Carter is a child. Legally,
Yeah.
legally a child.
Yeah.
Like his old soul, though. Like,
Well, when does it change now? I mean, 18 used to be you're an adult, but now you can't do half the shit you used to be able to do at 18 until you're 21.
Well, you couldn't drink a beer, but you could die for your country. That was a big argument.
You could also buy cigarettes,
right?
Which now
the
you can't do
cigarettes
until you're 21.
It's a detriment to your health, is what it really is. I think that you should be able to make responsible decisions at 18 because you graduated high school. You are now officially making the choice to either further your education or immerse yourself into the world. And at that point, I think, you should be able to make legal decisions at 18 years old, right?
If you can live on your own and you can fight for your country.
And more power to you, because even then, like, they need young people.
Yeah, they won't take me. I'm too old.
Well, and if you're high enough on the IQ list, they won't send you. That's where it's at. They really just
That's true.
Soldiers. But anyways, it's a health thing, right? The human body is still growing well in through their 20s, and we don't hit our peak maturity level at least until 21, bro. So and I've noticed it because I was a string bean growing up. Like I was always I called myself a late bloomer, right? Because I started hitting 24, 25, and I stopped growing up. I started growing out. I started getting I've always had broad shoulders, but I was always a skinny kid in the broad shoulders, right? I look good in a suit jacket. I fill a suit jacket out nice, but
I was always tiny until after high school. I mean, I graduated high school. I was the same height I am now, but I was only 170 pounds.
Sure, for sure. I'm in the same boat. I'm probably, I think I weighed myself at 190 the other day, but I've also lost a little bit of weight. But I was floating at 200 for a little while, and it wasn't like my metabolism slowed. I got a little thicker.
Yeah,
it's kind of barreling up.
It's different, and this job helps.
Oh
helps
yeah,
with it too.
being
I mean,
physical every day
Yeah.
and like random physical. Like I love the workouts that you get here for sure. It's you're right. It just develops you a little differently.
doing it for 23 years is just
You've been at it for a while.
it helps, but then it also hurts.
You know, but I don't know how much it really hurts because the last couple of years you've had a forklift and cronies.
That's why I have that now. No, I've got I've had this neck pain. I've had the aggravated shoulders, the elbows, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's where I say it hurts.
And you're 40, right?
44.
44. Damn.
I'm past my time of going to people's houses. Fuck that shit. I
You
mean,
don't look a day over 38.
perfect.
What it's worth. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Adam, speaking of big,
We don't need to talk about work anymore.
one of the things I wanted to bring up to you, which also goes into the work. We've talked a little bit, and I know you've talked to other people. You have bigorexia.
Bigorexia?
I did not know it was a thing until I watched the show.
Oh, you mean body dysmorphia?
Yeah, it's same. Yeah. So instead of
Well-
anorexia, where you think you're too big and you want to get smaller, you think you're too small and you want to get bigger.
Yeah.
Now, is there ever going to be a spot where you're big enough, or are you always going to feel you need to get bigger?
No, I don't think it will be because, like, as a natural, like, you can only gain about 10 pounds of muscle a year, like 10 to 15, which is, like, just enough so you can, like, barely notice, like, unless you look at, like, a picture from, like, X and Y, Z time apart.
Most people don't notice it on themselves anyways.
Exactly, yeah. It's, like, pretty hard to tell as a natural, so, and obviously, like, with social media and stuff, like, you see all those guys who are all juiced out on, like, all the steroids and stuff, like, it seems like, I mean, even though, like, I know I could lift for, like, 20 years, I feel like, why am I wasting all that time if they're able to just, like, achieve that progress that quickly? But, I mean, I know it's probably the better route just to stay natural.
It is, and that was another question I was going to have for you because you did bring up. I don't even remember how long you've been here.
It was mostly
you brought
like,
up a while
satirical.
back.
I mostly just like to like mess with Jeff about it.
Okay, because we all know that got to the boss, and the boss had to have a talk with you.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask what your love for steroids was, or why you think it'd be a good idea.
I just think it's like kind of cool, like especially nowadays, like because if you look at, there's statistics all over about it, how like male testosterone has been decreasing for like the
So
past
take testosterone.
50 years.
We're
that
getting
too,
soft.
just like
That's what he's saying.
I just think it's like kind of cool to have people look up to who are like pretty much like the essence of like why you start. Like obviously like little kids, like why anyone starts lifting, like you see somebody that you aspire to be like, and then you begin to do what they would do.
If you're into that, yeah.
I would just say that life is a series of choices,
Yep.
and you can choose to be big on the juice, but you're going to have a really small wiener for
That's
the rest of your life.
Small balls.
Small balls. I
Testicular
don't
atrophy.
think.
There's no such thing as dick atrophy.
I can't speak for it, but I'm afraid of both.
Yes, yeah.
Well, if you think about it, if you have testicular atrophy, but there's no such thing as dick shrinking, it just comparatively looks bigger.
Oh, so
Don't
I just
use it,
have a
you
little
lose it.
wiener. That's what it is. I just got a little package. That's it.
Or you're just old like me and your balls are so big it just pulls the dick back inside.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You know,
You
the
just-
weight of the balls.
just it's like hanging it.
Yeah.
My God. It's hanging on by a thread, really. He's just hanging.
I've never been one of those that just wants to be all big and muscular jack. So I just wanted, like, I know you do.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to hear why. Like, is there a reason? Did you see somebody and you liked it, or?
Well, I just think it's like, well, because if you look at like the people who like built like the country, like blue collar workers, most of them are pretty much everything you would imagine from like a pretty like masculine man. Like they're all pretty like jacked and move heavy shit around, get shit done.
Bro, they don't take steroids though. They eat meat and
Well, I know that's because they
Okay.
have a different goal. Like they're not
Yeah.
trying to get as big as possible, but just
Sure.
like they're like the essence of like being masculine.
sure.
And I think lifting kind of ties in with that a little bit, just because like I don't know, you walking around, you look all fucking big, everyone sees you.
That was going to be my question is what is your goal out of like what do you plan to like what do you want to do it for? Like, what are you going to use your muscles for? Are you going to use them for show? Are you going to go do some heavy man lifting shit? Are you going to like just go hang out on freaking Pismo Beach and do some freaking workouts on the rails and shit with the bros in the tanks? Like, what's your goal?
I mean, like, it's always nice to look good, and that's like the main goal the whole time is just like to look good. But it definitely is nice to obviously have a practical application, like be able to apply the strength for work, like lift stuff up, furniture.
Sure. Thank God we don't drug test here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Performance enhancements are legal in the moving industry.
PEDs for movers.
Oh Lord. Like,
I just disagree with everything you say.
I know.
No, I really do. I don't think big muscles. I can't even speak.
rascals.
Like, I know many people who are not big and muscular and are very fucking strong. Mm-hmm. But that's, again, it's all opinions. I don't think big muscles are like the epitome of masculinity. I don't think it is.
I can't believe you'd have a different opinion.
Like, right. I just don't agree. And again, that's why I wanted to bring you on and talk to you about it, because I know you have a different opinion. And then it was always nice to have somebody else in here who I don't know their opinion on it. But yeah, I think you can be masculine, just like having a beard doesn't make you a man. Like, I mean,
exactly. It's an accumulation of things.
It's just,
a pretty big
it's all,
we are what we repetitively do. Excellence is not an act, but a habit, right? It's not how you look. It's it's about your actions day to day. Stephen Hawking did a whole lot of shit with zero muscles.
Zero.
You couldn't have got my muscles if you tried.
He didn't even have a voice muscle.
Literally. Yeah, right.
No, I'm joking.
On to a different subject, and I just heard this on the news this morning. U of I has just been approved to buy University of Phoenix for $550 million. First question, where the fuck did U of I get $550 million? Because, look, I am a U of I fan. I went to school there. The football team isn't bringing in money. They can't fucking win.
True.
So where'd they get $550 million?
They're giving out like in-state tuition to like 50% of their students.
They got enough money to pay the Rufai boys to play ball, though.
I think they're buying it to make money in a sense, because University of Phoenix is all a for-profit type of school.
So is it like they're just going to manage it and it's still going to be University of Phoenix, or it's going to be like U of I,
I guarantee
Phoenix
you, if they're
location?
buying it, they will. Well, it's not even University of Phoenix. Isn't even Phoenix. It's all. Most of it's online. I think they have campuses everywhere. There's even a campus here in Boise.
So it's like what's that called? Like what's the word for it? It starts with an F. Like when you like a franchise college.
Pretty much, yeah, because it is all for profit. So it's not a normal school, but it is one of the, I don't want to say higher ranked, but the degree you get from them is recognized everywhere. Where like places like Ashford or Art Institute, they're not a recognized, accredited school where University of Phoenix is.
Is accredited.
And so I bet you U of I, if it does happen, so they were approved, they were given the green light to do it. I guarantee if they do, they will not keep the University of Phoenix name.
Probably.
They will put like U of I extension, U of I online, something that has to do with that, because they want it known for them. Because U of I is a very good academic school. Obviously, we sucked in sports after the 90s.
Nerds.
But yes, it is very good for that. And so I think that obviously some things would change. I don't understand. Create your own. I don't know. Why $550 million?
What would you call your online branch extension? If you were a university, University of Idaho, what do you got? What's your marketing?
Oh god. Like just the name, or
yeah, like what would you spin that off as? Like, so like University of Phoenix's whole thing was like rebranding on type. Like you got like Southern New Hampshire University.
Yeah, there's
like,
so many.
There's so many of these things. So obviously, like you got to like stick out a little different.
I would definitely keep like their whole for the working adult kind of thing, because that's pretty much what University of Phoenix was around. You got kids and family, and you can do this.
Take your
whatever
time,
the fucking time you need to get it done at night, 2 a.m, whatever. I don't know, because like you can't really
incorporate Idaho somehow. Like something kind of more culturally from Idaho, like
Yeah.
maybe the rivers or something, hiking. I don't know, just like outdoorsy type
Like
stuff.
Snake
after college.
River, like Snake River University or something like that, like something crazy. I don't know.
I think they would still keep the University of Idaho
Yeah,
hooked to it.
yeah.
I guess they would probably maybe extension or online university, U of I online. You know what I mean? It's not going to be some big thought out thing
Sure,
because they're going to want to keep it known. This is University of Idaho,
sure.
but they're going to do something to show that it is different than, if you're going to apply for school, you don't want to go to U of I and apply, and then you're thinking you're online. You're like, I live in Wisconsin. I can't show up to class today.
Yeah.
So they're going to have something to separate it, but I bet it would be some just, I hate to say it, lame, like U of I online,
Yeah.
just like the buildings here in Boise or U of I extension buildings.
Wouldn't they just be able to set up their own thing? Are they like?
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, why pay $550 million to buy?
Shut it down.
But unless they're getting, I mean, obviously the campuses, because there are random campuses. I said there's even one here, Boise, Nampa, somewhere. They're getting the buildings. Are they getting, what all are they getting for this?
They're getting rid of the competition.
Yeah, because there will be no more University of Phoenix.
Right.
And
One
I
by
do,
one. Slowly.
right now, they're really big for
Conglomerate.
masters,
Eat them
for the
all.
master's programs, University of Phoenix. So maybe it'll be U of I master's programs, I don't know. Like, that's where my wife got her master's for her,
Accounting.
Think about
Accounting
all,
shit,
think about
yeah.
all that tuition money they're about to take in, though. $550 million is a drop in the bucket compared
Yeah.
to what they're about to get over the next.
and see, that's what
10
I'm wondering is like, because if there's still people going and they purchase it, are they buying those future payments from those people still going? Is that like, because that would cover, make sense over how much money is going to buy it, because they're going to get their money back pretty much right away with tuition from these other people. And again, other than the name change, I don't know how much will change as far as the school's operated.
Probably exact same.
So
It's the same people probably
Yeah.
going to be running it. I doubt they dissolved it by any means.
yeah,
They
they're
probably
like,
just
well, you've done this for 30 years. You're going to keep working here.
lowered the
Just
banner
a-
right
just a-
over the front of the eagle. Like, just
Push a button,
roll
it just
it
rolls
out.
down.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about Johnny Depp?
No.
So you remember he
Got
won.
his money.
He got his money
Nice.
and he donated it all to charity.
Love that.
Every last, I
That's
thought
a
that was
big
awesome.
Big Johnny Depp move.
It's a straight up fuck you, Amber Heard.
Suck it. All your money's going to children.
I didn't need your millions of dollars. I just wanted to show you that I was better.
On the flip side of that success, did you hear about Andrew Tate?
What
Fuck
about
that
him?
douchebag.
He was convicted in Ukraine.
Hell yeah.
For human trafficking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He openly said he
7
moved there
counts.
because they have
Yeah.
lenient laws on that kind of stuff. I'm so glad that he was convicted, because fuck
Convicted.
that piece of shit.
Yep. Saw that.
That's just
Here we go.
ugh.
Long time coming. Just
And
a
needed,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah. Long time coming.
Yeah.
Sadly, most rich people are pedophiles.
Well, he was horrible
you know.
too. He's not even just the sex trafficking. He literally thinks men are smarter than women. And if your woman doesn't listen to you, grab her by the throat and punch her in the face until she does.
Mhm.
He openly said that's how you should do things. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, and again, if I get into a cage fight with him, he'd probably kick my ass. He is a fighter. But mentally, he's a fucking moron.
Yeah.
And I know many people smarter than him.
Yeah. You know what you tell a woman with 2 black eyes?
What?
You know what to tell a woman with 2 black eyes?
What are you telling?
Nothing. You already told her twice.
Oh. I was like, I didn't hear what you said at first. I was like,
2 black guys.
Yeah.
that's what I thought you said. I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
Is this racist?
Trying to cancel me on my first podcast.
No, it's sexist.
Is that our phone?
Thing, isn't it?
All right, you guys talk. I'll check it out.
Working while he's working.
So how about the weather? You know, he wants us to just make
We
content for
had
him.
5 seconds and we went to the weather.
That's exactly what I said. That.
All right, and I'm back.
Welcome back. Who called?
I don't know. I don't know.
Hello?
Yeah, not my thing.
Yeah. I'm here. Go on.
Did you ever use a home phone?
My family had a landline until I was probably like 12.
Oh, he did grow up in Lewiston, so they're still behind the time.
Yeah. You know, they're like about 12 years behind.
Some
the rest of
messenger pigeons.
civilization.
Right.
Yeah.
Smoke signals.
Yeah.
I was told I was old the other day, which,
Mhm.
you know, like, and I talked about this on the last episode because I was doing it alone.
Mm.
I get it, like, physically, age-wise, you know, 44 is not young.
Yep.
But I was at the Bare Naked Ladies concert, and I was texting with the other dad bods, you know, Dan and stuff, and I was texting them. I was like, you guys ever notice how many old people are at these concerts nowadays? And Dan's response was, we are the old people.
That's
I'm
us.
like, oh, fuck.
No.
Wait a second.
Bro.
Damn it.
It's crazy.
I was just doing this packing job last week with the boys, and it was super short time. She honestly did all the work for me, but I ended up repacking like 1 or 2 of her boxes, and it was like all of her cassette tapes. Like,
Hell yeah.
And I was looking through literally, like, I was like, this is my parents' fucking collection. Like, everything right down to the Ray Stevens Comedy Hour VHS. I was like, bro.
I got that shit on vinyl.
Right. And so we had Jake out there. And I was like, I pulled up one of the tapes, and it was Huey Lewis in the news.
I love you, Lewis.
Bro, what happened to him? Like, he made one album, and then he had, you know who Huey Lewis is?
I have no
I
clue.
know you don't.
Do you know the movie Back to the Future?
I've asked.
Because I'm old, and that was the day I realized.
You know the movie Back
this
to the
is
Future?
old.
But yeah, I do.
It's a soundtrack.
Okay.
Pretty much that one album was a soundtrack.
Power of Love.
Yeah.
And like, I still like jamming like, this is it. Like, dude. You don't know who Huey Lewis in the news is?
I think if you played the songs, he would know the songs.
He does a lot of like, he's got a lot of like saxophone in there on like, a lot of his bridges and stuff. It's like, it's just kind of get up and shake your booty, kind of rock and roll. I don't know. It was good music though.
Yeah.
Like, and like I dated myself because I was like, fuck, you guys are lucky there's not a tape deck out here. I'm about to bust this. You guys are going to get an earful.
Yeah,
like,
I've been going to like, so Carter likes a record exchange, and I've been loving it too, but I've got growing my vinyl collection. I've got not VHS, cassette tapes. But to age us even more, did you know we're older than Google?
yes.
Is it not crazy? And I was thinking about that. Like, not only am I older than Google, I graduated high school before Google came out.
Do you know what dial-up is?
Isn't that like the very first, like, see, like internet something or phone something, isn't it?
It's internet.
It's both.
Yeah,
Both.
but through the phone.
You actually
Phone
had
internet?
to have your phone connected to your computer, like the same phone jack as your phone, and you had to use your telephone line to dial the internet. It's a
Right now, I can hear the sound.
and you can hear that,
Yeah.
and it would do that for about a minute. Just
Nobody could call you. You couldn't call out if you were on the computer.
yep, and then you were online, and then it would take like 2 minutes to get a whole like web page to load. It would just like,
Can you imagine looking at porn?
oh Lord.
You
It would
get
look
the-
like-
ooh, neckline.
Anything live? Not even. It looks like one of those neon signs outside where it's like
Yeah,
flashes,
yeah.
2 points, like boom, boom. Oh my God. Yeah, I remember dial-up as a child. I was one of the more interesting things, like sidebar. We don't have to dive down a whole deep thing of like depression, but there was one thing that was talked about, like 90s kids were like the most depressed in like generation alive at the moment because we're the last living generation that knows life before cell phones. Like knows life of my curfew is the street lights,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and like when mama calls, you get yes inside, right? Like, and now kids have cell phones in their pockets.
Yeah.
And their kids are as young as freaking 10 years old. Like 5-year-olds have cell phones.
I'm
Like, they're
I'm
little
guilty
kid
of it.
phones,
All my
but,
kids
like,
have had phones for years.
but it's like, and it's like, it's such lazy parenting.
Yeah.
Like it's basically like, all right, my kid's got a phone, whatever, we go out and like my kids, I got to know where my kid is at all times. It's kind of my, like, and it's like,
We definitely were not tracked back in the day.
you know what I'm saying? We weren't
Yeah.
tracked, right? Like we were doing rowdy shit. We were out playing in the mud. We were out breaking stuff. We were out being children.
Unless your house was a
You
little
know?
different. I know I'm older than you,
Mm.
but maybe you still had the same, like if it was weekend, even if you weren't, you were like kicked out by your dad.
Oh, yeah.
Like go outside.
Tired of looking
You don't
at
come
you.
home until the,
Yeah, go
Yeah.
burn that energy somewhere else.
And
bro.
yeah, you rode your bikes. You were just gone
was it.
all day long.
Yep.
Street lights are on. Like shit, I got to get home. It's dark, but
And if you weren't home before dark, you were grounded for a week.
I know I am
was
guilty of my kids having phones. Not necessarily to track them, but dude, I don't want to stand out in the yard and yell my son's name for 3 hours trying to find him.
It's true. And
You know,
that's understood. But that goes right back
but also
to
leaving
they
them
should
home
know-
alone.
They should know to come back. I understand the safety thing.
Oh,
I
he-
like the
he
safety
knows.
thing. And like, you have a phone so you can call me.
Uh-huh.
Right. And like, that's kind of a, but I just like, it's the like, we're the last gen. Like we know both worlds
Oh yeah.
is what's
Well,
crazy. And that's why
I never knew any of that second world as a kid. It was all adult for me.
there's more work ethic out of the 90s generation. And that's
Yeah.
why is because we're not so
90s and before, yeah.
everything that we have was by hand. Like
What
we
year were
knew-
you born?
I was born in 92.
Jesus.
So I remember the turn of the millennium. Like I remember
I was 15 when he was born.
the towers falling. I was in 4th grade. I remember the Twin Towers falling.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't understand what it meant, but I remember watching it on
I was
TV.
working Micron when the Twin Towers fell.
Yeah. Yeah. I was in 4th grade. I was not a popular kid. I was a very awkward
Like,
child.
oh, I thought
Yeah.
I thought you were saying that like you did something that meant you like made you wildly unpopular or something.
Oh,
He
I
looked like
also
Ichabod
did- yeah.
Crane.
I did things that just made me wildly unpopular.
Yeah.
I was just not the
Oh.
cool kid. I was the weird kid for sure. Like, that was.
I mean, coming to realize it is like half the journey, right?
Oh, for sure. But yeah, no, like that's that shit. It's just like we didn't have. I mean, I got a cell phone, I guess when I was 12, but it was my brother's
Fuck.
old flip phone with like it was more speaker than phone really. And the giant freaking, I don't remember those little flip phones with the giant fucking boombox speaker
Oh,
in
yeah.
front of it, but I had one of those bad boys.
Dude, I think I was
Yeah.
probably
You don't
24.
even know the struggle. You have the iPhone came out and that was like the iTouch came out and that was like
This one over here is the age of the iPhone, pretty
oh,
much.
Yeah.
Like I think it was 2005 or 2006 when the first iPhone was released.
The fact that they made a touch screen anything
Uh-huh.
blew my mind. Like everything was keyboard to monitor.
Yeah.
Like you have inputs into the brain to input into the eyes.
Well, and
it's all in one. Fuck. Like that. What?
think about it, that little thing you carry in your pocket now,
Mind
back
blowing.
when I was a kid, took up a whole fucking room.
Yeah,
Like there was, and it wasn't even
bro. You
a
ever seen
third the speed. It was so slow.
You ever seen a bag phone before? Oh, bro.
We had one.
My dad had it.
Yeah.
That was my mom had like the classic like flip down, draw up the antenna.
Yeah.
Right. My dad had the man purse.
Yeah, you
and
just
he was
carry it.
yeah, he had the whole strap with it, and you would like open it up, and there'd be a can of Skull in there. Like,
That's
I hid
awesome.
it from my mom, like, and it was it was literally a phone that you had to pick up out of the bag, like it was on a receiver. And you had to pick it up and dial it, and it was like,
Unholster it.
and you unholster.
Yeah.
it. He was a cop. He had to have a holster for his
Yeah,
gun.
yeah.
That was the joke. But
The size of that battery too, though.
bro, it's fucking as big as like one of my drill batteries
Dang.
for sure.
Holy cow.
Crazy. Like the tech's come so far, and I know people have talked about it for years, and it's not even like mind blowing. But at the time, man, when that shit was coming out, I was like, holy. That is just next level.
Yeah.
And it made me realize that we're literally capable of doing anything, and we're just so limited at our time, and we're limited with the tech of our time, and there's like we're building silicone parts as fast as we can, but we're running out of materials, and so we're really limiting on what we can get done. And there's nothing cooler to find in space other than more rocks until we stop bombing each other. And we
Good
get
luck with that.
unbarred from the intergalactic spaceships.
Yes.
The moon's watching us, man.
We can behave.
That's what it's. You know what? When we stop blowing ourselves up, then we can go play outside the sandbox. Okay.
That's what I said. So, in our first season of this podcast, we had to talk about that. Like, if you believe there's other life out there, and I said, yeah. And I want to say it was Tyler. Somebody was worried, like, well, what if they come here? I was like, they're not going to come here. They're watching us to see how stupid we are, and we're just going to kill ourselves. There's no point in them coming here to to take over. Like,
if they come here, it's going to be close to like Lilo and Stitch.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Or like
Yeah.
one got loose, we're trying to get him back.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's not a.
we
we're not
we
like-
can't get along with anything, let alone
It's not like
worry about what's
you know
out
what?
there.
It might be honestly. It might be like MIB. I would believe that there are aliens among us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at like the top 10 movies, I don't remember the exact amount, but I remember seeing it somewhere online that like the top like blank, like it's a pretty decent number of the top 10 movies of all time like involve aliens. So like, have you heard the thing about like predictive programming? You have or haven't?
No.
So it's like by like if I made up a story that was like completely like outrageous, you'd like think it was outrageous. But if that thing actually happened, because you saw my thing about it, it would, like you'd become a little bit more sensitized to it. So like the whole thing behind it is that like some people think that like exactly what you were saying, that like they're living among us right now.
And so when it is real, that I'm gonna be okay with it. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very very interesting.
I think they've been here for a long time.
So what does that
'cause
say
if you
about?
look in The Simpsons too, all the predictions the Simpsons have made that have come correct, and like in their show they show like aliens wearing suits, like implying that like they're part of like the society in the show.
True.
Not to say that the show is like an all telling.
No, but Matt Groening's gotten a lot right. Like, who predicted Trump getting presidency? You got to be fucking kidding me. That's interesting. I like that. It makes a lot of sense too. What does that say about Alien versus Predator? Did that actually happen? Like, are people go down and get freaking brainwormed or whatever, the face mask aliens? Like, is this a real? So this is going to be a real thing. We have to go.
It's gonna happen.
The Antarctic is melting as we speak, and after it melts, these
Don't
aliens
even,
are
don't
gonna
even get started with
they're
that.
going
The
to
Transformers type of aliens,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
know?
Oh my god!
Robots in disguise
Is
are coming
this the
out.
apocalypse that was predicted in the Bible? Like, what are we?
I mean, look at War of the Worlds too. Like, it's just
Oh yeah,
there are so many, like you said, that are aliens. There's some dumb ones, cowboys versus aliens and Mars attacks and that kind of stuff. But yeah, you look at Men in Black, Independence Day.
what about
Transformers is
what do
pretty
you
much an alien movie.
What do you think about like Pacific Rim, where it's like interdimensional, and there's like dimensional wormholes that kind of pop up beast up in this bitch?
Honestly, I think that like we've come so far, like like we were just talking about like how far we've come in our technology, like to think that we know everything about like the dimensions and all that, like I just think is unfathomable. Like,
No,
I
it's
think
an
there's, like, a
infinite
whole
number,
bunch of
right?
stuff that we
Yeah.
don't know about.
So it's so weird. Do they have aliens in the other dimensions? Like, are we the alien? I don't know.
Well, it's other planets where the aliens, so it's all.
That's what bad. Like, we just think it's such a small scale because it's all we know, right? Like, there's no way that we can. You're right. There's no way we can fathom that shit. Like, it's infinite number of infinite.
Like on Men in
miles.
Black. I mean, he opened up that Foot Locker, and there's a whole universe inside that, or the universe that's inside the cat's.
The jewel,
Jewel, yeah.
The galaxy,
The galaxy, the galaxy inside a cat's jewel. That's how small it is. It's like there's so much that we don't get and we never will get.
It's all propaganda to make us feel insignificant.
That's
We
what it
are.
is. Yeah. They're all ants.
In the grand scheme of the universe, we are insignificant. We're just little, nothing. We're one planet that.
A fart in the wind.
Yeah.
That's what I am. Like, yeah, I am a
Or
fart.
something else I talked about. Did you hear about the guy who got arrested for farting on someone's tacos? I found that so hilarious.
What'd that guy do to get his tacos gassed?
So this kid was working. He worked at Taco Bell. I want to say it was like in Montana, and I guess this customer came in and was just pretty much calling him a loser, telling him he was a piece of shit because he worked at Taco Bell. He'll never amount to anything. Just belittling and treating him like shit. So he went back into the walk-in freezer and just let a bunch of farts rip into this man's taco and then wrapped it up.
Deserved. That's
I
deserved.
agree.
Yeah.
Now the downside is,
How
and
did he find out about the farts?
snitches get stitches, man. One of his fellow employees not only told on him but called the cops on him. So now this kid is facing a battery charge.
Fucking nerds.
Right? Like
God damn
That
it.
sucks to me how like legally like the dude it doesn't like legally he was in the wrong, but it doesn't seem like he should have been just because the other dude was like instigating it, but the other guy took it too far.
Yeah.
Farted in that guy's tacos too. What the hell?
And if you think about it, I mean, you go to a restaurant, you treat the help like shit. You know, you're gonna you're gonna spit in your burger. They're doing something.
Have you not seen Waiting?
Exactly.
Like, they made an entire
Yes,
movie on this
yes.
so people would stop doing it.
Yeah.
Like, what the
Like, why do you go in and treat people like shit? Like, and that is probably one of the least disgusting things he could have done too. Like, I would rather him fart on a taco than put a booger in it or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like
hock a loogie. Like, that's
Fluid
fucking
or
disgusting.
something. Yeah.
But again, and then why call the cops? This it's crazy. This is the one question I have. But why the fuck did that fellow employee call the cops and make it such a big deal?
I don't know. Maybe
If I was to
thought they
fart
would
in
be
your
a hero
tacos
or
and Brad
something.
saw it and wanted to warn you, then warn him and make another taco. Don't what the fuck? It's
Bro,
a fart.
Dudley Do-Rights out here trying to fucking
Yeah.
get justice.
Yeah.
And shit that they don't. Like, keep your nose out my business
She
is
just
where
thought
I'm
the
at.
company
with
or the person who told thought they were gonna get like money from the company or something.
Oh
for
my
being
God.
honest.
Get a
Yeah.
promotion or something. Yeah, like get over it.
Thank you for
Teacher's
your
pet,
honesty.
bro.
Yeah.
That's what that is. That's a brown nosing.
You work at a Taco Bell. You're not going anywhere. And I don't.
So check yourself.
Like-
Like, God, this is how you're trying to get out of this shithole.
By tattling. Like,
By
come on.
tattling.
Nobody's gonna hire you because you're gonna snitch on everything. Like, they don't want to work with you.
Smells like a rat in here.
Yeah. Like, where are you going to go now? Like, you know, they're going to ask you what happened. And then you're like, well, I told on them for farting. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I got released because I snitched on a farter. Like, what the fuck?
We consider ourselves a family here and we don't tattle on people. So
I didn't know I was farting in tacos and whooping ass in the same day. Like,
the guys, I was showing my friends at home this too. Like, the guy does not look like he regrets it one bit.
oh, no.
His
You're
mugshot
farting in
is
people's
fucking
tacos,
awesome.
You got no fucks to give, for
Oh,
sure.
one left.
That is some Saul Goodman bullshit.
His mugshot.
Yes,
Let's see.
like, Going the extra mile to just really get a one up on somebody.
Andrew Bateman.
Jason Bateman? No.
No, Patrick Bateman from
Pat-
American Psycho.
Yeah.
Look at that mugshot. He's like, yeah, I did
Yeah,
it.
I
He
did
does
it.
not care.
Bro, he feels so much better. He just let out a gas and big chunky smile, boy.
I'm 20 pounds lighter.
Ooh, that's good.
The downside is because of that, though, is that he's now going to have a battery charge on his record, which is so fucking
But I feel
ridiculous.
like you could like even for like employers, like most of the time, like
I hope
they'll
the
ask
judge
you what
drops
it's
it,
for or something.
but-
Bro, somebody comes in here and tells me I lost my job because I farted on somebody's tacos. And I'm going to ask him
Hire him on
why.
the spot.
And
Yeah.
he's going to give me a good reason, and I'm
Yeah.
going to hire his ass on the spot. You're a dog, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to do things. Like,
The guy was belittling and talking shit, so I
oh, so you're telling me you weren't narking. You were narked on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like-
I'll take that guy.
fuck the customer's always right, and I get the thought of it, but fuck that shit. It's
I'm not
just
so-
not.
Yeah. No, it's not worth it.
Most of the time is the exact opposite. But I get it as far as a company goes, you know, because word of mouth is huge and could lose you business. It's not going to lose Taco Bell. One pissed off guy from Taco Bell got his tacos farted on. Not going to lose you business
I'm a serious
at all. You know, like, look, I know they cook chihuahuas in their tacos. I'm still going to eat it.
All the reviews are fake anyways. Like, it doesn't matter what you write. They're going to come through and boost
Yeah.
their own reviews. With another
Yeah, it's
10
not going to hurt
random-
one thing. So
It's fine.
why try to cause problems and do that? Just fuck it. Who cares? Now, again, I don't know what I would do if I found out I was at a restaurant and I found out someone farted on my taco. I would definitely demand a new one,
I probably would jump the counter.
right? Like,
I would
unless
get
you're
the
in
battery
that,
charge.
unless you're in that situation, it's like,
I would
What are you gonna
full
do?
ass. I might be talking a lot of shit, but I feel like I would full Farva burger punk and just dive over and just start. I don't even know if I would like hit the kid, but like I might like
Homer Simpson and just strangle him like he does Bart.
I might like, like check him in the gut real quick and then just give him a wedgie. I wanted to like, it would be a humiliation thing. Like, you're trying to fart in my taco? Okay, nerd, let's fucking fight. Like,
Yeah.
I'd go take him to the toilet and put his head in the, like.
Right? Give him a swirly?
That's
Like,
where I would be. I would.
shot
Like,
for shot.
You want to do bully shit? Let's do some bully shit. Like, I
know how to bully, bro. I grew
was
up in
trying
the
to be
80s
a
and
nicer
90s.
person in this life, and you were preventing me from that. Like,
I bullied when bullying was physical and not over the computer. So let's do this.
bro, I come from a house of people, my friends, not my family. I wasn't beaten as a child, but I come from a house of friends where, like, we'll body each other. If we're getting a little too rowdy on it, like, we'll have to put each other in place. Like, it's it's no fucking around. I watched two of my very best friends in a garage drunk, and we're all having a great time and dancing, and one bumps into the other, and the other one is just drunk and just ignoring it, but he's a big weight, so he throws his ass back and bumps him back, and one turns around and says, boom, and the other one turns around and he picks him up and he places him on a shelf. Like,
Stay.
and then like two people split him, and then he just put his hands up and was like, your move.
Yeah.
and then it was done. Right. And we understand it. And like, we know why, like, hey, just, you're not going to punk me. Right. I'm not going to go through with that. So, oh, there he is. But like, that's that shit. Like, you're not going to punk me. Right. Like,
Yeah.
and so I'm going to stand up for my, put him on a shelf. Right. Done. And like, and the self-mutual respect. The problem is I can't go do that to the Taco Bell punk that farts in my taco. Cause
No, without getting it worse.
Charge,
Yeah.
Right. Like, but that's some real shit. Like, you want to be a bully, bro? We're back on it. Hello, sir. Welcome. The hardest working man in the building this month.
All comes in with paint all over him.
Looking like he's probably the only one that did anything today. Side, right?
Yeah.
But, like,
They're definitely
this
made
is
to be right in front of talking on them. They're specific podcast microphones where you can go get that old school. You remember those in the, back in school, a little black with the round top?
Yeah.
Get that loud.
Pick up the fucking fly farting in the background. Yeah, for sure.
We had those. Our first, or not that specific mic, but the first set we had 4 seasons ago were picked up everything.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Dogs barking like a block away. And it's just did not work when I had Mickey and Rainey at my house and we were doing the shocking trivia, putting the dog shock collars on.
Oh, that's right.
It interfered with everything because it was such cheap equipment that like every time you get shocked, it would send the interference. And I couldn't clean it up.
Oh no, you could just hear it through the freaking.
So we never released that episode, and we're gonna have to do it again one of these days.
Damn dog shot collar trivia.
It's fun.
Let's
Don't
do it.
trust Mickey and Rainey though. I got the question right, and they still shocked the shit out of me. I'm like, what the fuck? I was right.
We got to have a neutral party running it.
Yeah,
I'm in. I'll be the neutral party. I'll run that shit.
you'll be the one with the button.
I'll take one shock ahead of time, so I know what the pain is, so I don't abuse you guys, and then
It's more of a in your head kind of. Oh god, it's gonna.
Yeah,
What would you compare it to?
A very light tattoo. Like, I mean, they held the button. I'm like, oh, okay. It's really not. It's enough that, like, again, same with dogs. Like, it scares you at first. Like, oh shit, what's that? I don't want to do that again. But once a couple times, you're like, yeah, go ahead, shock me.
Like
what?
mildly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Now these were not the big dog collars. It was a set we bought on Amazon, which didn't work on my black lab either. He kept barking anyways.
Sure.
I just figured he's stupid.
Bro, yeah, no, right? No, dude, he's just Awnry. Bro, I had a black lab that was the same way. Like, she would try to like walk down the driveway. We had a good stretch, and dog collar, same thing. And we'd be like, Angel, come. And she'd be like, nah, I'm going to the water. And you'd buzz her, and she'd be like, like, and then you hit her with the number 2, and then she'd like kind of like, whoa, and then she'd stop, and she'd take another step, and then you hit her with the number 3, and then you'd see her like slowly turn her body around. Just like, all right, I give up. Like,
So there's levels to it.
yeah. So I don't feel like you guys are doing more than like number 1.
Oh no, on these ones we were all the way up to the top, which I said they're cheap Amazon.
So you're trying to fry.
But we have a new we have a
That is, like, yeah.
we have a new one that definitely works on the dog. And the new one though, now it gives you a beep, a little bit of vibration, and if the dog keeps barking, then it gets him. And it's to the point we had to use that twice. Now we just pull out and put him on, and he just like, nope. And he just lays down and doesn't make a sound. We don't even turn the power on it. But because that one is strong, I will not put that one on my neck. It's strong enough. But I do feel like when you're going to put something like that on your dog, you got to test it first. So like anytime I get it, I hold up there, I'm like, woof, and I make sure I feel it first. And I don't have as thick skin or fur like he's got.
You ain't got nothing there, bro.
Have you encountered people that have like said, "Oh, the shot collar's too much"?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Like people against, think it's what is it called?
They'll call it like animal cruelty, and even though the training choker collars, those aren't enough to even go into their skin. It's just more of discomfort, and it's them that's pulling.
Oh yeah,
bro, and they learn
to walk into the park. Like she's a good dog around here, bro. But like, and she's crazy too because off leash, a lot of times she'll stay on my hip or at least within the wing. But if she's on a leash and we're going to the park, it's a full like to the neck, like she's like pressing, like flexing on the ground, right? And you can just, she's like,
Loki is the same.
And I'm like, bro, you're gonna be okay? Like, it sound like you're dying.
I was like, if you just walk normal, this won't happen.
You know what I'm saying? Like, God, it's not gonna.
We have him on a harness too, not even a collar. We have the harness.
Oh yeah.
And he's still pulling enough that he's like, I'm like, it's it's on your chest. Calm down, dude.
But they love it. That's the thing is like, they're fine. They're like, you could choke collar them. They're fine.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I just dropped her off at the groomers and they just put a fucking shoestring around her neck. And I was like, is this okay? And she's just like, okay. Like,
yeah, I definitely, when we're walking, we've had a few people who question the shot collar, but I'm like, look, it's really not what anybody thinks it is. Like, it's not that bad. It's you ever lick a 9-volt? Mm-hmm. You know that'll.
I didn't lick it, but I did do the. Oh, I'll take it to the.
My dad was an asshole. Sure. I don't know what I'm saying. He is.
Sure.
Sure. Literally, when I was 9, he thought it was funny to have me pee on an electric fence. So, yeah, that was my dad's joy back then. Was let's go make the boy pee on a fence.
Yikes.
So yeah, I've licked the 9-volt.
That had to have messed you up.
It was not a fun time. But. Yeah, so
Donnie was a scrawny boy growing up.
I really was. Up until after high school, I was little. Right. Yeah. But yeah, it's really like the dog shot collars are nothing. That people think they're not. They're not really that bad. But it is fun. I mean, obviously you want to drink first and during.
Sure.
Sure.
Little liquid.
You still don't, even though it's not that bad. It's still like I know it's gonna zap me, and you're still getting that.
You get
or there's those games. You hold on as long as you can. Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
It's really not horrible, but it's still enough to.
Scared. I
was just saying, it's definitely enough to make you jump and
like
study up on your trivia before you put the collar on.
I'm holding all these Trivial Pursuit cards up my sleeve and shit.
Like you're warming up for Jeopardy and
right. God.
Like, what if you have some type of medical condition?
Oh, bro, no pacemakers.
If you don't know about it, you're gonna find out. Yeah.
Yeah, no medical. You gotta have good heart condition. Like you can't be fucking around on that, man.
Yeah, not at all.
Make sure your feet are dry.
Yeah.
No wet socks. No sweaty socks.
Don't stand in a puddle with the guy before you left.
Yeah, right.
No, it was fun. It's something I'll do again. I always do this stupid crap like that, but
got to make it like an annual, like a third annual Donnie's Shockathon or whatever. There's some better name that we can come up with.
Shockathon is pretty good.
Shockathon.
Shockathon.
It's
and almost like Shaka Khan.
Yo, we can get pledges too. We'll get people calling in to donate money, and then whoever wins the Shockathon gets the money.
See, but
it's like public torture.
Or you can donate.
And people are into that,
right?
People pay, and then they say like, "Oh, I want this to happen."
Right? You guys are about to witness greatness, and we'll make it good every year. We'll have like a final lightning round, right? Nobody, the pun that was perfect.
Oh, I got you.
It was delivery. That was delivery.
I wish I still had the button that did crickets.
30 seconds. Just a 30-second fire off, though. You're just firing off questions. Everyone there wrong.
But you've got to trust who's giving you the questions too.
Sure.
This is 3rd grade, 5th grade. I'm like, the fuck it is.
Bro, but
and half of the questions were wrong.
Some of these 5th grade questions are hard, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's shit that you just never use again, right?
Yeah.
So it's locked in the vault. You ever watch that show? The Are You Smarter
Yeah.
Than a Fifth Grader?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm stumped.
I am not.
I'm not.
Well, it's just like the questions they have to answer to become a citizen.
Oh yeah.
Because I just watched. We were downtown this weekend. I had no clue it was like National Immigration Day or something. But
Sure.
they swore in like 8 new citizens,
Oh cool.
which was kind of cool to watch.
Like
I
people?
did. Yeah, yeah. So they took their test to become a citizen of the United States. They took their test. I could not answer a single one of those damn questions that they have to go through and answer.
Did they live test them like over the?
No. Well,
How do you know their questions?
I've looked
I
it
was
up
like,
in the
okay.
past. Yeah.
I was like, they're just reading them off like a trivia game.
It was Carter, we hit ignore.
The top 8 people get to be a citizen.
Well, I think it was on like Jimmy Fallon or one of those shows one night when they were going to the street and they were asking these questions to random people in New York. So then I looked it up. But I'm just thinking about like so many people here. There's
Isn't
no
that
way
just,
they can
like,
answer those
about
questions.
like wars and the presidents and like
That's just all kinds of
yeah.
What do
history and, yeah.
do the 13 stripes on the American flag represent?
the 13 original colonies.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Can
But-
you name 5 of the original colonies?
No.
Delaware,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
New Hampshire?
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Um,
I don't know if Hampshire was.
I don't think it was.
Is this all the mints on the coins too? Because those are like Delaware and Connecticut and all that.
Pennsylvania, Delaware, Connecticut. 2 more.
there's 2 more.
There's 13 of them, but you just got to come up with 2
13.
more.
Yeah, Maryland,
Maryland,
New York, New Jersey, Vermont.
Jersey, yeah. I don't think Vermont was in there though.
No?
I think that was a little far. I could be wrong, and you know what? Don't quote me on that. Maybe there is, but
What about Rhode Island?
I think Georgia's the farthest south though.
It is, yeah, because Florida. I think Florida was like Mexican American or
Yeah,
some other
That
country
whole
that we were
that
dealing
whole
with.
Gulf line was
Yeah.
We had to get New Mexico. I mean, and even South California and Arizona, and New Mexico, and a portion of Texas even was a part of Mexico before we snatched that fucker.
So the 13,
Thanks, Teddy Roosevelt.
the 13 colonies in order that they were established. Virginia,
Delaware was the first. I thought.
Virginia, Jamestown,
Lie.
Virginia, 1607.
It's a damn lie. Delaware's the
So
first.
Virginia,
First
Delaware was 7.
I went to.
Virginia, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maryland, Connecticut, Rhode Island is number 6. Then Delaware, North Carolina, South Carolina, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Georgia was the last one at 1732. Crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'd just start naming states and hope I get lucky that one of them was the 13. I don't know.
Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas. Yeah.
Do you know anybody from 1732?
Anybody
Like
in history?
from your lineage?
Oh, nah, dog. My
No.
grandpa is the lie.
I was going to say, that's the last I know is my grandpa.
Grandpa?
I apparently have a very long Native American lineage.
Native American Dodds.
See, we got married into the Dodds here. Yeah, but my great grandma's like a full blood Native American. So, but they like apparently like an Irish Mormon missionary, and they met in like the Dakota provinces when they were back in the day, and that's where Dodds came from. My grandpa was like one of like 8 siblings, and my grandpa doesn't talk about any of them. We had 0 hit. My dad
Distant brothers.
bro, he had a big
Distant
falling out.
siblings.
Like I think my great grandma tried to off my grandpa.
Damn.
Like when he was a kid, like locked him in a barn and lit that fucker on fire, kind of shit.
Damn.
Yeah, it was different time, bro. Like she was kind of a druggie, I guess, from what I've gathered over the years. Right, I don't have
What would that
I don't
put your
have good
grandparents like?
lineage.
Are you talking 50s, 60s?
Oh, my grandpa was born in 1940,
Okay.
I bet. So
then around the
and then my grandma maybe 37. So yeah, so they grew up like they were children of the 50s for sure. And even then, like it wasn't even that long ago. But then like my grandpa for years never talked about anything like disowned his Native American heritage. Like I could have gotten free college if he went down to the books and wrote my name down as his grandson. But he was like, I won't take a single penny from him kind of shit, which I didn't. And I was like, I'm never going to ask you to change your ways, bro. Like you got your issues. Like I'll get out here on my own dime. That's fine. I'll go get it. But that, like, I don't know nothing. Like, I know diddly, bro. Like, even on my mom's side, I know diddly. Like, I know my grandparents and all that stuff, and they did cool shit. Like, my grandpa John on my mom's side, who just passed, rest. I'm driving his car. Dude was, he's called a fisher of men. Do you know what that is? So he was a rescue swimmer, I guess is the best way. And he worked with like NASA.
Like for the Coast Guard or just on his own kind of thing?
For the Navy and for NASA. He was the guy. There's a picture of him pulling out the Apollo 11 pilots out of the water.
Oh, nice.
When the shuttle landed in the water, there's a picture of him. He's the bearded guy in there. And he pulled the astronauts.
And this was
my direct grandfather.
Your grandfather.
My mom's dad.
So he could probably swim a marathon.
That motherfucker, not in his later years, but I bet he could get around. He was honestly, he was smart. He wasn't a swimmer. Like he could swim and he was good in the water, right?
For the Navy
right. For the Navy, he could swim and all that shit. Like there wasn't a whole lot he wasn't going out into like the big ocean though. Like his main gig was like working with computers and running programs with NASA and all that kind of shit.
I'm on the total opposite side of grandparents.
That's the farthest I'm legally allowed to tell you before I have to kill you. But no, like that, like, so yeah, I know as far as them, but I couldn't tell you how the hell we got here. No,
I've got my great grandpa is the farthest I know. My grandpa's dad was a hitman for Capone.
Sick.
Yeah, I know that. And then my grandpa was a dirty cop.
See, that's like,
so like that's as far as I know my family.
Like there wasn't a whole lot of people 100 years ago, right? We have exponentially quadrupled our population.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a whole lot of jobs to be had, right? Somebody had to be Capone's hitman, and that's sick as fuck.
Yeah. I did a whole, when I was going to U of I did a whole like paper on him because it was for a class and we had to interview somebody. And obviously I didn't interview him because he had passed, but my mom, my grandpa, my dad, and I found all the stuff out about him. And he had like in his house, he had a throne that he had his 2 pet cougars chained right there in his, his Christmas cards were him and a bunch of hookers. Like, I guess he owned a portion of one of the whorehouses in Nevada. He was wanted in 10 states for murder. It was like, I was like, cool, where's his money?
Yeah, right.
I could have gone to college.
Somewhere in the ground.
It'd be buried somewhere.
Desert.
Yeah.
Probably destroyed now, but you have money in the ground.
Yeah, my mom said when she first
inheritance.
Money in the grave.
Yes,
for sure.
When my mom first met him, he told my dad to put her on the street and she'll make you some money. And that was like a compliment from him because
he thought she was pretty.
Yeah.
He said, "Damn girl,
right?
I could make $1 off you."
Yeah. And then my grandpa decided to become a cop, and he said the first time he was ever terrified in his life was when he had to tell his dad he was a cop. And his dad said, "Wait there, my boys are coming to get you." And my grandpa's like, and I knew what his boys did for him. So he was terrified. He ended up just, in a sense, dirty cop, ratting them out when they were going to raid and all that kind of stuff. But I actually have my grandpa's revolver from when he was a cop, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I don't go past great grandpa.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't tell you.
I would love to find
do you have
out.
Lineage? Do you know?
I mean,
Do you have Lineage? Yes, he's got Lineage.
The furthest back, and this is my great grandma. She is 88, which means she was born in the 40s.
Sure,
something like that.
Okay.
Or no, yeah, 40s.
Yeah, she's like in her 80s. Yeah.
But I mean, shoot, black at that time couldn't really do shit. So
sure. Yeah.
I mean, had kids when she was 16, so that's why she's my great grandma only at, under 90 years old.
Right.
But other than that, no, I don't really have lineage here. I know that, my dad is Nigerian, and I don't think, the whole slave shit was like way before they were around.
For sure.
But
do you have like family still in Nigeria though that you talk to?
I have family in Nigeria. I think I'm a not pure because obviously my mom's born and raised in Texas, but
you got to at least be 50%, right? If your dad's full.
Yeah, my dad's full
Full Nigerian.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like history, really got much.
Show. Do you get to go to? Do you get to go to Nigeria
So,
at
like
all?
on the
or-
mic, it rang.
No, I want
When I go
to.
answer,
One day I do. Supposedly I have some property over there from my dad passing away. That's been just passed down. So
Sure.
Well,
Turns
as
out
long
you're
as
a
you and
prince.
Tanner are going. Lex
You
is
know?
still.
and it's
willing
funny
to
you
go.
say that because
So that's what I was.
we
was trying to
were
figure
we
out
were at
this-
this family reunion
I haven't
and
heard anything.
yeah, they were talking
You
about
know what I mean?
back
So-
home. Oh, your cousin Prince Igehan. And I'm like, oh,
Until
I'm not
now,
the
yeah,
Prince.
when
Like,
Prince Ige, huh?
we got princes and no, yeah. I don't know how it works out or what tribe or what it
learning a lot
really
more,
is.
yeah.
I got to look more into it.
I
but,
know.
Yeah, hopefully I'm like maybe I'm king. I don't know.
You need to inherit the throne.
That'd be
Yeah, I'm down.
that'd be sick if there was.
Show. That'd be sick,
I'll
bro.
take it so fast. Become
Look.
the president of Nigeria.
Babe, I know you got this beauty school thing going on, but
Fuck that beauty.
babe, I'm a king. Like, I'm literally Eddie Murphy right
Royalty.
now. I need to go back to Africa.
I'll talk to Lex about that. Yeah, I'm done with that. That's just Saturday.
No, yeah.
Bro, that's dope. That'd be sick. That'd be sick to go back and see and like me. I think about like Pat, like being able to bring like Joe and Will back to Hawaii all the time and meet all of Mino's brothers
Is
and
Pat
sisters.
from Hawaii? They're from Hawaii.
Mino is, I
Mino?
think.
Okay.
And
That's what I was gonna ask next.
I think Pat, I don't know if he was born here or born in California. But Pat is either Californian or Idahoan. Sally was
My
born
bet
here.
would probably be he's California.
I think he was.
Awesome, man. I'll talk
I
to
think
Lex
he was
and
born
I'll
here.
text you more later.
Yeah,
I think
I feel
because
like
Sally
if he was from the island,
Sally was from here, and Mino came up to play football here,
Mm,
and I think Mino was from the island.
okay.
And so Pat always went back to visit family, right? And so
Yeah.
Pat's well known down there at this point. And so
Yeah.
it's like, it's cool. Like I like that shit. I don't have that shit. Like my family, we all grew up on one fucking acre. Every Dodds in the state of Washington was my house, my aunt and uncle's house across the yard, and my grandparents who spent most of the time in Alaska and then 3 weeks in my garage. Like I don't have a somewhere to go like that. That's so cool. That shit's so cool to me. I love the like heritage and like where people can like come from and everybody's different backgrounds and shit. And it's like I envy that.
Do you know what you are?
I'm what you call a Heinz 57. Because I got literally fucking everything, bro. You know what? I've been told I look Slavic.
I don't know what
Vinny-
Slavic looks
Vinny,
like, so
you know,
sure.
So like Russian.
Oh,
Like, I
okay.
look Russian, Ukrainian.
A little short for it, but I get it.
You know what I'm saying? So my mom has a lot of Slavic in her blood, I feel like, but she is a big mix. Dodds is obviously like the English derivative of an Irish named Dodd. And so, yeah, I've got like a little bit of Irish in me, English, kind of that side. Obviously Native American, like as I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
Like I just, not a big enough portion though for me to say that I'm one or another. I'm literally like 10% everything. It's fucking, I'm a mutt, bro. That's it. I'm a
I know
mutt.
4 for sure.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, we're 3/4 German,
Yeah. Okay.
and then Dutch, Scottish, and Norse,
And the last name's Jan.
which is
I really
Dutch.
thought you were, okay.
But yeah, when
Sounds
people hear
Asian.
it, yeah, everybody thinks it's Asian. And
Yeah.
I guess it's like short for, used to be Janovic or Janovich or something.
You know what's so funny? So Jake Woosley is Thai, and his last name is Woosley,
Yeah.
and that sounds more German than Jan.
Right?
And Jan sounds a little closer to the Thai.
It's
I just
yeah.
don't understand.
There's
like,
actually this
Try to-
guy found me on Facebook. His name is Donnie Yan, spelled the exact same way. Yeah, he's just a tiny little Asian guy.
what the hell?
Right? I was
I
like,
don't
yeah.
understand.
What do you message you?
Ni hao.
What's up? Yeah. How's it going?
Ohio.
It's not like we ever talked and became friends. It's just he found me on Facebook, and I was like, oh, shit. Do you even know what you are?
I think like mainly Polish and Italian
Mm,
because
mhm.
my dad's side of the family is mainly from Italy, and my mom actually told me stories that her side of the family, since they're from Poland, like they were like in a work camp or something for like during World War II, but luckily not like a concentration camp because they weren't Jew, they were Polish.
Hard time for the Poles
Yeah.
in the 40s for sure.
For a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of not solely the polls, I suppose. In terms of the polls, though, you know, for a lot of people, you're right.
That's awesome.
For the poll, it's probably worse.
Yeah.
I mean, that's next step. Next step was what to be a Jew. So
They were looked at like rats, man.
Yeah.
It was crazy. They treated them like rats. It was.
I don't get it because what I know about Jewish people, or I guess a stereotype, is that they have shitload of money. They're like rich people.
That's like a more
Because they don't spend it.
That's kind of a it's because they're penny pinchers is the stereotype.
Yeah.
But even then, that's also kind of a modern stereotype. I think a stereotype, like as far as like the 40s go, I think that a lot of the Jewish people were like simple farmers.
I guess
They
it
were
was
just
like
like
80s and
people.
on, the whole Jewish being cheap and penny pinchers kind of
when
thing.
Hollywood exploded,
Yeah.
the Jewish nation. I don't know how to really, because it's not they bought Hollywood. They're just like they're investors. A lot of them had like this old family money. I don't know if there was any reparation money from World War II. I don't think there was, but
They're probably the Illuminati.
That's what I was thinking.
They gotta be. You said they
bought.
bought. They have investments in Hollywood, like
They
Well,
pretty much are.
that's
were
the
and
big
are.
stereotype.
Yeah.
Along with like Jews or penny pinchers, like they own Hollywood.
Yeah.
Straight
yeah,
up.
they
Like
gotta be
every one of
Illuminati.
those producers.
You could probably name 6 of them, and they're going to be mostly Jewish.
It's all like owned by BlackRock.
Which is like what, Jewish? Is that a Jewish?
I don't know the company of origin, but I know it's like I remember seeing somewhere. I don't know the exact like thing, but I remember seeing like a chart of like people who had like X amount of money, and it was like 70 out of like 130 of them were Jewish or something.
Oh,
It was interesting.
yeah, they got to be the Illuminati. It's like payback. almost.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Excuse me, but it's like,
Doubt it.
they're like
They're
you
gonna
got
take down
dead
the
on, and now we're
podcast.
about
Is that why the Gaza Strip's so hot right now? Like people out here trying to bomb the Illuminati? Like the Palestinians figured it out? Yeah, I'm not sure how they acquired it, but they acquired it, and that's it. And it's just kind of how it is.
Well, if it's anything like what they show on the movies, TV, like I'm watching a show right now called The Marvelous Miss Maisel, which is follows Jews in New York back in the 40s and 50s in comedy and stuff. And they just, they would do their things. Like they'd bring one of the families owns like a clothing line, obviously pays his employees very little. Once he gets hides it somewhere, like he's just got hidden cash stockpiled everywhere. Like they have the money. They keep their money because they spend very little of it, kind of thing. So if it is like
they
that,
do good to reduce and reuse and recycle.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like, they're the kind of like, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but the kind of people that will rinse out their Ziplocs because they don't need to buy new Ziplocs. They can just reuse this Ziploc.
this one still seals. Why
Still
get rid of
seals.
it? Yeah,
Wash it. Boom. Done. Like
and that's how we got the whole.
that's what it takes. So like people who
Stereotype.
have money don't spend money in general. Like religion aside and like history aside, like people who have money because they don't spend money.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
I think I'm pretty sure that whole like stereotype actually originated from a religious, because I'm pretty sure it was like something like the Christians like didn't bank on Sundays or on the Sabbath or something, but the Jews would. So like they kind of placed that reputation on them because they would prioritize money over God in their time.
Okay.
that's another.
I haven't heard that
Angle of
before,
it.
but I do like.
Yeah.
I see it. Okay.
Just like the origins of it, kind of.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I've never heard that either, but now I'm gonna have to look it up. Not
does make
now,
sense.
but
Yeah, don't quote me because there might be like
Bro,
some
make
discrepancies,
me
but-
leave thinking new shit. You know, like that's what I love about this stuff. Like you just kind of. Most of the stuff that we say out here is just bullshit, but you know, every once in
especially
a while.
when James is on.
Oh, who we or Murphy, for God's sake. God.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Those two together never shut up.
No.
No.
Yeah, he's living with his parents again.
Yeah, I saw it. Wait.
Murphy.
Oh, okay. I was like, how's he putting out fires with his parents? But yeah.
Yeah.
And poor Apple.
Bro, Apple's got to be the chillest roommate. Like he's never home. He's always golfing. Like he doesn't ever.
He's there when she
Bro,
wants him to be, so he can watch her
I've
dogs.
never heard about this dude bringing a girl home. And I'm not saying he couldn't, but I just have like, he never talks about like, yo, I was out partying last night, met this girl. Like you never hear that from him. So I'm wondering if he's like the quiet type of roommate, like doesn't bring him home kind of thing.
I think he's a sniper.
Like
Like
don't kiss and tell kind of shit. Like
because he's
in and
always out.
boil drink like a fish, but
And eat like a
eat,
dog.
bro. He
That man-
fucking that dude will eat like 5 cheeseburgers and be like, "What's next?" Like
That man can eat.
so much food. It's impressive.
We were on the road and we had Subway, and this dude ate his foot long in, I don't even know, like maybe 3 or 4 minutes.
Scooby Doo style, like
Basically.
yeah,
Cone heads?
Yeah, right. Cone heads.
Just vacuumed it, but
That's so funny.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think Apple's I think he's a sniper because, like I said, he's always out, and I know he's got to be watching.
like ninja style, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
in and
yeah.
out, like in the dark, nobody knows. Don't make a peep, right?
Mhm.
Don't even wake the roommates. Yeah, okay. Maybe we got to bang it out and
See if Marie's got hidden
accurate.
cameras around it.
That's what he does. He just takes them up here now.
Right? I mean,
Mattresses are in the back.
well,
Plenty of them.
yeah.
Just leave
Here,
the
yeah, but I
plastic
mean,
on,
you know.
it's fine.
She wasn't home last night, so he had the whole house to himself last night. Just saying. He might have brought somebody home last night.
He might have been having a naked Coke party. You never know with him. It's a wild one.
Naked Coke party.
Naked Coke party. Marie comes home to 6 people just chasing around blindfolded. In the
Her
living
dog's
room.
just like standing there shaking.
Lucy's in the corner, like,
She saw some things.
got into the Coke. Like, oh.
But yeah, other than that, he's always golfing.
Oh, yeah. Guy's golfing daily.
Damn good at it.
I told him when he goes pro, he needs to call me to be his caddy. I'm trying to take that ride with him.
I would
He used
love to be
do
good
it
at golf.
sooner than later,
That
too.
motherfucker, like, from what I understand, I haven't golfed with him because I suck. I enjoy doing it. I love playing golf. I'll go out any chance I can. But I don't want to play with somebody that good.
It breaks my heart that he comes out and I know like when I'm out there, he's going to just be like, it's okay. Today's just a casual day. Cause I'm so competitive to my core, like to everything, every ping pong game we play, I'm trying to smash you 20 points to nothing. And I never will, but I like in my deepest heart of hearts, like I want to win more than anything. And
Just
I want
not
to
like golf.
and I want to play the best when I do it. Right. And even if I get smashed, I want the best to play against me. And Apple will never give me that
Yeah.
because he knows it's going to be casual as hell. It's like, son of a bitch. It's just a little disheartening. Like, oh, I'm not good enough.
Doesn't he have like a notebook and he like mathetize? I know that's not a real word, but
Bro
his
sent
golf
me-
game. Like he's
Bro,
like,
yeah. He sent me a scorecard and he uses all 4 slots and he keeps track of green and reg,
for just him.
fairway and reg,
Wow.
and like score and putts. And I was like, you're a genius, bro. That's how I need to start
Serious,
keeping my
right?
cut. Like, I can't fill all that out because I'm normally 4 deep and with beers. Like, we're I got to keep everybody's score.
And that's before the round starts.
That's just, yeah, right? Yeah. See, my game's more like it's called hack instead of a par 4. It's like par 40. Yeah.
That one's good.
You know, yeah.
That's a gimme.
Whack the ball, get in the car. You got to keep a drink in the hand the whole time.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
So it's a big windmill swing. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, my first time will probably be going out this year. Is probably going to be the yearly man camp I do with my brothers and my dad.
Oh, yeah. Glenn's Ferry, right?
Yeah, coming up the first week of August.
Okay. That'll be sick.
That's probably going to be the first time I golf this year. Yeah, I haven't golfed yet this year.
Golf course out there.
Yeah, on the winery. So you start at the bar, you golf, you finish at the bar.
Nice. Is the 9th at the bar, too?
Bar is the clubhouse,
Yeah, right.
basically.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah, there you go. Cool. What
They
more?
don't have much golf in there. It's more wine. I mean, they have a few. Like, it's not going to be a normal golf course clubhouse where you got tees and clothes and all kind of stuff.
Is it a winery vibe, though? Like, or is it
half
like
of it, yes. The other half is straight up bar vibe. I'm talking
Okay,
like
good.
wooden bar,
Good,
and that's where we
yeah.
hang out.
Good. I got kicked out of the last winery I went to because I was getting a little too rowdy. You know, I just want to make sure.
Oh, they know us there.
Okay, good. Good. Oh, yes, the Yawn Clan.
Like,
Gotcha.
oh.
Yeah. Fuck.
I think it was
hide your kids.
You're right.
Yeah.
last year. We they close at 9:30, and we left at 11:30. But as they're closing, they're still serving us. They're letting us hang out and stuff. But it's every year we go back every year. My dad probably goes 2 or 3 times, because he won't go to normal camping sites. They have to have a pull through spot for his fifth wheel, and he has to be able to plug it in, and
Hookups.
get
and shit.
satellite.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
Dad, we're here
yeah,
for
yeah.
2 days. Why do you need satellite?
I need it.
But it did help. You know,
Need it, bro.
you can watch football or whatever.
Yeah, you know you're gonna want
Yeah.
this. You're gonna be
Yeah,
thanking
eventually
me
we're
later,
gonna-
right? It's such a dad move. Like,
Well, yeah, and to top it off, I'm the one that's got to climb up on his fifth wheel and move that satellite dish around.
Oh, that's why he's got no problem with it.
Yeah,
'Cause
he
knows
doesn't
it's
go
your-
anywhere.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's your job. Yeah.
Like, when are you going to get there? Oh, okay.
Sure, I could be, I
Right,
could be
yeah.
there around then. Yeah.
But we always record an episode down there, too, and they've been really good ones.
Good. I'm sure it is.
So I'm looking forward to this one.
It's different energy, right? You're not
Oh, yeah.
up in the office.
Yeah.
You guys are relaxed. Yeah.
Now I have wireless mics that'll plug in my phone.
Okay.
So, like,
Okay.
during the golf game, you can get some
Yeah,
commentary and some other
okay.
shit going on. But
Okay. Yeah.
it's, like I said, I've never been great at golf. I enjoy playing it. I was talking to a buddy who's going to go this year, and he's like, "What's your handicap?" I was like, "I got an ingrown toenail." You know,
Swings are a little slice, you know. Like I'm playing 2 fairways over, but I'm along in 4.
I'll take 20 minutes to find my ball. I'm tired of listening to this shit. Like, I don't have a handicap. He's like, "Well, what do you normally hit?" I was like, "I don't know, 100." I know I'm not good. Like,
That's pretty good though.
you know, it's just like,
Oh, yeah.
If you hear
Whatever.
118. You know, that's pretty good.
yeah. I think Dan last year he was 116. I was 105. Like, because we get drunk, and when there's one year there was some mushrooms involved.
Sure.
You know, someone's always smoking something, so there's always something going on. But we do start the day like we get there 8 a.m. You're already drinking, and that's okay during golf and camping.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it always ends up. I mean, that one night we drank from 8 a.m. till 11:30 at night.
It's a long day, man.
Did some mushrooms.
No naps.
Woke up in a field not knowing where I was. It was like 30 feet from the camper. Couldn't find it. I was like, where am I?
I just went to Washington.
Oh
Played,
yeah.
a rave. It was like a little rave. They call it a Wook Fest.
Oh, woke like
No
W,
Wook.
Like,
Like
walk, like
no, like WOOK.
like a Wookiee.
yeah, Wookie. Yeah.
Okay.
Wook.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, as he was saying, 30 feet away from his
can go
camper,
home and
couldn't even
relax.
find it. Yeah, there's out in the forest.
So drunk.
Out in the forest, you see a tree, you think it's a bear.
Uh-huh. Oh, because you're not in your right mind either.
Yeah, you're just
No,
you're
no,
over
no.
here like, what? But
You're on some performance enhancements for this festival that you're at. Like,
some sound enhancements. Some
holy shit,
visual
bro, that's a
enhancements.
fucking bear. Do I move?
Let me just stay still. Up in Washington,
Mm.
I didn't know there's so many trees out there like
Oh,
that.
bro, yeah.
The only thing I know about Washington would be like Seattle.
Which
pretty
that's
much it.
big metro area too.
Yeah.
Even then, even on the outskirts, they still got some pretty trees up in
Yeah.
the hills, like 30-foot pines that line the freeways, bro.
They're
like,
better than Boise.
mhm.
I know Boise's called the city of trees. That's cap.
I laughed the first time somebody told me that. Oh, that is capped for sure. I laughed in someone's face the first time they told me that. But you know why they call them that, right?
Because they
Could-
plant a lot of them.
Because the city of trees is literally a circle of trees in the middle of a desert. So it's the only trees out here is in Boise.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
okay.
It's
So
the
that's
same way
why.
in Lewiston too.
Yeah. So there's like, I feel like every state's got a city of trees, right? Yeah. But you go to like Washington and
Shit, not
specifically
Texas.
like west of the mountains, Washington, like in Oregon's the same too. West of the mountains, like super pretty green, tall trees, like all the way up to Canada. It's righteous out there, man. I love it out there.
Washington.
It does rain 9 months of the year, so that's
Yeah, I heard
Ass.
that too.
it's ass. That's why we have trees. Is like, and like aside from the pretty trees, there's a lot of overgrowth
Of
like-
trees?
of like shrubs and like more importantly blackberry bushes. I don't know if you've ever seen a
wow.
blackberry bush before. It is a thorny
Yeah.
bastard, and they're tough and they're ornery. They're mean. Like
Mhm.
they growl at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're ornery.
Like they
bro.
grow wild.
Yeah.
So
we-
they're, like they'll like be in your like backyard. Oh, okay.
When I was a kid, we used to have them like at the end of the slough, like at the end of my road, and we would go like pick the blackberries off them, but we would try to like hack at it with a scythe, and it would take a couple hacks to get through kind of shit. Like I have a big 3-bay garage with like a mother-in-law apartment attached to it as well. So giant, like 30-foot long building.
Mhm.
And I went home this last trip that I went home, and the entire back of the building was like across and to the roof covered in blackberry bushes. And it was maybe like 10 to 15 feet from the wall out. and then up, just thick.
There's got to be like juicing company, like Blackberry.
Right.
farms.
That would, some people take advantage of it, and like
Oh.
they just like they'll grow their own blackberries.
Yeah.
People will make their own pies and shit out in the Northwest.
Yeah, I have like a lemonade stand with
Oh,
some
yeah.
blackberry infused in it.
Mm-hmm.
Sell it out
Yes,
in the
sir.
summer.
Some
See, that's that
vodka.
money, bro. You got to get to the right
Yeah.
area where it's gonna be, right?
You know what I'm talking about, Adam? Huh?
But yeah, so like Washington has like a bunch of overgrowth like that, and that kind of sucks. Like mossy everywhere.
Yeah.
You got to worry about like you can't have a rag top because it'll leak.
A rag top? What do you
Like
mean?
a
Convertible?
car, like a convertible
okay.
car, and like if you do have a convertible, it's got to be a hard top convertible, as the rags will leak. Like you get a hole, or like
Yeah.
along the seals and shit. They like 100% of the time you're gonna have a leaking car by the next year
Just because
It's
there's
like-
so much.
because there's so much water. And
Yeah.
it's just getting hammered unless you got like garage parking. But
I know I
even
came into
then-
this at the end, but
even then, it's the moss that grows in the air, bro, and it literally just grows on the seals in your car. And like you can't own chrome, all that shit's gonna rust in that salt water in the air. Like it's a whole different thing out there. So it's a little like your trucks are a little rusty. You know, it's a little different out there. Like but you do have green trees. That is
Yeah.
a saving grace, man. That's
just like Oregon.
NorCal starts petering away from it, but you can still get a little bit of Northern California
Yeah.
above wine country. It starts deserting out when you hit like Napa Valley, but like Redding, I think has trees still. Weed, California might.
Yeah.
I find it weird that California is like one of the lowest at sea as far as sea level,
Oh yeah.
and doesn't rain there.
It does in like San Fran and like in the Bay Area. I feel
the
like.
Bay, but I feel like
And it rains kind of in Northern California, from what Kelsey's telling me.
Really?
Yeah, I had that same thought process. I was like, "Why doesn't?"
because every time I've been in California, it's
Mhm.
been bright skies, blue skies.
I think it's only like more northern by like the Oregon border, like Brad was saying, like where pretty much where the trees are at is like.
And it's really raining in Oregon, but just kind of blowing over.
Yeah, it's really kind of just pushing south a
And
little.
then, like in the bay, you have from the ocean all pushing in, but
Like a rainstorm is like 10 minutes of
Yeah.
what we would call sprinkles here.
LA got rain this year, though. You guys are hearing about that? Like there was like maybe like 5 or 6 inches that they've gotten over the course of a couple days.
It's like when Texas got their
Full
snowstorm.
panic. Full
everyone
panic.
crashed
Oh
on
my
the highway. Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, the first time I ever saw it snow in Texas, I was in 3rd grade, and we went nuts. We were already in school, and it ended up snowing, and I mean, the whole day, like all the teachers, all the kids, all the staff stopped everything.
Just
we were
fucking
doing, and
hold
just-
the press, bro. It's
Yeah,
time to go
yeah,
outside.
because you know
Like,
it doesn't snow in Texas, right? Especially
Sure.
in Central Texas, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, we freaking had a blast, and then on top of that, we didn't go to school like the next 2 or 3 days.
Oh, you guys didn't even know what to do with it, bro. You
Yeah.
probably weren't ready. They got all these 4-wheel drive trucks, but they didn't put them on the buses.
Right.
Like, God damn
Well, that's
it.
what's like. It was driving me crazy this last year. The school's cut down, and I'm like, when I was in like 5th, 6th grade in Jerome, we had like 6-foot snow drifts, and we were still going to school. There was like a little
There's
dusting, and they
half an
shut it down. I'm
inch
like, what the
in
hell?
Texas. It's
This
everything
Yeah.
stops.
snowmageddon that happened here a while back. It's like, if I can get out of my driveway, we're fine. Like, calm down, people.
People are the same in Washington, though. They freak out in the snow. Like, we'll drive in the rain like a motherfucker, but like snow is not happening. Half an inch of snow, inch of snow. Like, your minimum getting a 2-hour delay from school is it was almost a guaranteed
bunch
thing.
of delays.
Yeah, at very minimum, you were getting delayed so that snow could melt by like 10 a.m. Because we lived in like a hilly area too.
They're just not used to it, right?
Well, and a lot of people were living like Glenhaven area and up in like Alger. The whole region's like Alger, where I was, maybe like 20-mile radius of tree land, mountainous region. There's a 20-minute range between Burlington and Bellingham is what it really is. And I'm in Burlington. Bellingham is the more common known thing. And you've driven that, I think, right? You did that Bellingham. So that nice windy 2-lane that goes up through those mountains, that's Alger. And that shit gets snowed on constantly. And like any of the weather kind of goes around, like Burlington's in the money spot. And then like any rain gets hit in the Olympic Mountains and just shadows us. Bellingham gets hammered and it teeters down into that hill area. And then it kind of goes up and over from Marysville. But those those like people have like dirt driveways up in those hills, and like they're a good quarter mile long. And so if they have snow out there, they're not getting anybody out there to plow them.
Yeah.
So they're stuck, like at least until they plow them, and they're not getting it done before coffee. Like, it's just kind of like, yeah,
don't get it done. They're probably stuck up
they
there.
probably just take it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like they got propane tanks and they're on their own shit out there anyways. So
Snowmobile and 4-wheeler, head on down.
my buddy Andrew's up in that area, and he'll 2-3 days at a time be just, sometimes I got to just be stuck in my house. Like,
That would
it's the way it
suck.
goes. Because he lives like on a hill like this, and that hill goes straight into a fucking lake. I ain't risking that.
Right.
Hell no. Like,
One little slip and
hell
you're
no.
just gone.
Even if I try to turn, I'm still going this way. Like, no. Like,
I never understood houses with the slanted foundation.
gotta build where you can build, baby.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah, that's it's wild. I would.
That'd be more like building to be away from people, though.
I feel like, I mean, building to build away from people. Yeah, you're building into the hills just to have your privacy. But
Yeah.
even then, you have to build on the hill. You have to build with the structure supported, which is wild to me. I would dig into the side of the ground.
Yeah.
You know, like
So you're on flat ground and just the back of the hill
like
is
that would make
missing.
more sense to me, right?
Mhm.
And then just half of my house that cools half of my house.
And
Like,
it'd be
I don't
fun
have-
to dig because you can just dynamite it.
you know, destruction's the best part. That's the one part
Exactly.
that I'm good at.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think my dad's got a couple stick of dynamite left
Right,
over at
I was-
from his blasting days. I bet you I can. I don't know if they'll still blow, but boy, we could try. It'll be fun. Like, I probably got to go. I got to get the dogs done at 5 at the groomer. So I got to.
What were you going to say before Brad interrupted you?
Oh, man.
Yeah. You,
Did you guys see that thing about how we've dug to the Earth's mantle?
really?
Yeah.
Was that
It's cra-
recently?
Yeah, recently they said it was basically like a diagram and kind of what it looked like. They didn't actually dig into the mantle, but they dug into like it was underwater somewhere. Dug into this like surface, this rock that was just different than what they've seen in the
It was
ocean.
almost molten.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
kind of sort of thing. But I thought it was like not a good thing though.
Did you ever see the movie The Core?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Movie from like early 2000s, and they dug to the center of the earth. Yeah,
seen it.
it's
What
crazy.
happens?
Didn't they have to go down there and like do something to reverse or make
The Earth's magnetic field had stopped because the core of the Earth had stopped rotating within the orbit of the Earth was turning and like grinding against like a generator.
Oh.
The inner core is a piece of metal. The outer core is molten, and that friction was generating the
Between the molten and the
electromagnetic field that protects us from solar flares. So the theme of the movie was that stopped. And we
That's
have to
right.
dig to the
Whoa.
center with a bunch of explosives and try to kickstart the generator.
get it to spin
And
again.
we
Yeah.
got one try. What happened? Everybody fucking died. That's what
As
happened.
expected.
They made it. They blew it up, and I think like the lovebirds made it out like everybody does. But there was a crew of like 8 fuckers.
Just like
And they
Armageddon.
Straight up, like one by one, we all sacrificed our body for the cause.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy. But they started in the ocean. They went to Marianas Trench, which is like the
The
deepest,
deepest. Yep.
point in Earth, and they dug from there. And then it was like
With like the
Yeah.
big drills and yeah.
it was like a snake, a giant like
Yep.
drill head, and then it was like 6 compartments, and it was like a snake, and it was just designed to start drilling down through the. That's crazy. Did they? How did they? Did they just start drilling for fun? Was that what they?
It was some company. I think they were drilling oil, trying to get oil out the ground.
Where was it?
Went
Was
a
it in
little too
Texas,
far?
or-
This was like I don't know where it was, but it was in the ocean. somewhere
Okay.
in the
Yeah.
ocean. And
So
yeah,
many
they
fucking
just
derricks
were
out
just drilling, and they were like, "Oh, what is this? Something they've never seen before." And
We did it.
claim that they've dug into the next surface of the Earth or the next,
How would they know? Like,
The crust is only like 25 miles deep.
well, I was saying, how can they be proven wrong? You know what I mean? Like, this is something we haven't seen before, so they can claim we've dug. How can you prove that wrong?
I'm assuming they were in the Pacific Ocean because that's where a lot of these derricks go. What are the odds that they are on like a new vein of the Ring of Fire?
Yeah.
Like, who's to say that they hit the mantle? Maybe they just hit a volcanic vein.
like an old volcano.
like imagine, if you will, Mauna or whatever it is in Hawaii, and he's just got a fucking toenail that goes,
Yeah.
you know, like, and he just hit the toenail. Like,
Yeah, that's a good. That's
you know
a
what
good
I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I
we
guess
don't-
they could
there's
try
so
to
much of
age
Earth
the
that we
rock,
don't
but
know.
again, it's not like they can take an X-ray and be like, no, you didn't go that far.
And the mantle itself too.
They did
like,
find new rock. That was one of the things. They just found new rock, and now they're like comparing it against
Trying to age it and group
Yeah.
it, but
how long's that rock been down there? It's ocean, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it could be a
Who
new
knows?
rock. It could be an entirely new rock, but was it from the mantle? Maybe you kick something up from the ocean floor from a prehistoric
probably.
great find, but I don't know if it's exactly.
that's what I'm saying. How would they prove it
Yeah,
either way?
we have nothing else to scale it against, so
Especially if
we
it's
don't
something
know,
new, then yeah, they don't know where.
right? Yeah, could be an alien.
You guys
Back to
believe
where
in
we started.
aliens?
They're back to where we started.
It all comes back to alien. All right, on that I gotta go. I gotta
All
get
right,
this
well,
dog out of the groomer.
You gonna take us out,
What do I gotta do? Dad bod's out,
bitches?
bitches.